Hey everyone, I'm Tom from Case Knives. I'm here with Roland Rockhouse Welker and Laramy Sasquatch Miller. We're going to talk about some of the new Signature Series knives we just came out with for Case. We had these knives designed by professionals to perform in the outdoors, no matter the elements. So I'm going to start with Roland. I'm going to ask you some questions about why you designed this knife.
You bet.
So let's talk about the handle. Why did you choose the micarta handle for these line of knives?
Yeah, the micarta handle is real important on a survival knife. I was glad to have it available to me. The shatter resistance at 50 below. I'll use these things at 50 below. I mean, we're talking minus 50 below zero, and that micarta won't crack. It won't shatter.
Real all around good.
Yes,
good material.
Survival handle material.
Yeah. And Laramy, I noticed the difference between yours and Roland. I mean, it's a nice variety of knives.
It is.
For yours, you chose a Caswell finish on your blade. Is there a reason that you chose that, or?
The biggest thing is the look. I love the darker,
It does look cool.
hardened, but it makes the steel a little harder. It's going to make it a little tougher to sharpen in the field. But the 1095 is soft enough that you can put a good edge on it quick. So that Caswell finish, it's got that darker look, but it's still going to be easy to sharpen.
Yeah, and not only did you design this for your own personal survival skills, but to resonate with the normal consumer that might not use it every day. That Caswell finish is good for corrosion, right? I mean,
great.
It's going to help that 1095 not corrode, not get the rust. It's going to preserve it for longer.
Let's face it, most of us, we're going to throw a knife in our backpack, or we're going to do whatever, and it's going to sit in the rain, and it's going to get wet, and that Caswell finish is not going to rust.
Yeah.
Like a normal knife, a stainless steel knife is going to be, the thing's going to be orange. By the next hunting season.
Yeah, but not with the Caswell.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. And Roland, the one thing I like about yours is this RW100 is that it's the Tanto blade is a very popular blade, but you modified yours a little bit. It's not the general sharp angle for the Tanto. Just touch on why you did that. Just what was your reasoning for that?
The Tanto is one of my favorite designs, but I did modify it. I took the sharp point off. That way, you could blend the point in for the novice sharpener, or even not maybe that ain't even the right word, for the emergency the field sharpens quicker. And it'll still flow a little bit, but you still have the Tanto, it's a good piercing point.
Yep.
Well, the really cool thing about that, me being a survivalist myself, I look at your knife and, I get a little jealous, and I look at that thing and I'm like, man, the thought process going into that.
Yeah, I've been fooling with that for a long time.
It's an all-around knife. When you have a straight Tanto, it's hard to do any kind of skinning or any kind of, that knife right there, you can take and do anything you want in the field. And that's what's cool about it.
Yeah. I'm just really stoked that Case left me put the modified Tanto.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
all of the design that went into this was from the experience that these two guys have in the 30 years of guiding in Alaska, and the mountain man blood growing up with all of the family history of living off the land and the mountains. It all went into this. All that thought went into these knives. One last question: both of you guys have full tangs on all these knives. They're all full tangs. Laramy, what's the reasoning behind that thought?
Well, especially in a survival situation. I mean, you look at both of my survival knife and Roland's survival knife. You're using that thing for everything, whether it's hammering. You don't have a hammer. You don't have all the other tools out there, so that's got to be your all-around tool. So the extra tang allows you to use it as a hammer. You can break ice. You can do whatever you need with a blunt object with the butt of that knife. And that's the extended tang part.
Yep.
And then you also have the lanyard hole, makes it easier to hold if you don't have, if you don't have a sheath, or you have to use your sheath for something else in a survival situation, you still have that lanyard hole to
so
carry
you don't
your
lose your equipment.
Exactly.
Yep.
And the full tang That's a one-piece knife. A two-piece knife can fail.
Yeah.
A one-piece knife.
When you're out when you're out surviving, the last thing you need to fail is your knife.
Yeah.
And these are made to not
One
fail.
piece. That's a continuous piece of metal that is not gonna give out.
Yep.
Well, and what people need to realize is, people look at knives as trinkets and like cool to have, and yeah, we all need it. But for me and Roland, this is our tools. This is what we use to survive. Like, some people have a tool bag. We have knives.
Yep. And the 1095 is there but all these knives are 1095, which is a great steal. Is there a reason that you guys gravitated towards that 1095?
Sharpenability.
Yep, 100%. Obviously you'd love a harder steel in the field for different purposes, but you also have to be able to sharpen that thing.
If it's too hard,
Yep.
if you can't sharpen in the field, it's not
It's
survival
worthless.
quality. It has to have some tenacity. It has to hold its edge.
The 1095
but you
is
got to
nice.
bring
It
it
holds the
back
edge.
too.
Yep.
And the 1095 is
Yeah.
that was Case. Case said we're using 1095. And
And the
that's
awesome
what
thing
I
is you can
wanted.
take a river rock and you can sharpen
Yes.
any one of those knives.
You can wet them up on a field stone.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I think that explains it, everybody. The thought process that went into this, the experience that went into this with Case Engineering and these two guys' minds. You can get these knives at caseknives.com or your local dealer, and keep your hands sharp.